Okay.
Mm.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for Canadian MEP show. Today is 8th of February and a lot of snow outside. I have been joined with my friends Rahat from Montreal and Nick from Toronto and GTA, right, Nick?
Sorry, we don't have snow here. So
Holy cow, you
sun.
don't have
I'm
snow.
seeing
You live
sun.
in the
So I don't
snow.
know where you live, but we have sun today.
Okay, okay. And today we are talking about Azure AI language text analytics in Microsoft Fabric. Nick is very much into the Fabric and Fabric world in Canadian MEP community and Canadian GTA data community. His name is reflecting a lot of the praise and appreciation. And how are you doing, Rahat, today?
I'm doing very good. We're getting a lot of snow, but I'm just like hiding it behind the curtain. It's minus 30 outside, but no,
Holy.
we're really happy. This is what Canadian winter is about. We
Mhm.
just need to stay home, be with the warm people to be warm all the time. And we're really happy to welcome everyone in our seventh video of this season. So
Wow.
without talking further, we would like to introduce Nick and jump into Microsoft Fabric demos and all those like small things.
Beautiful. And I have minus 14 degrees centigrade, so I'm very good weather than you, Rahat. I don't know, Nick, you are on which part of
Yeah.
world and
Uh,
how is the weather over there?
the weather, I'm bad in math, so I'm not going to give you a number. Um, but I see the sun. I'm not going to go outside, but I see the sun, a lot of sun. That's all I can say. So, just you mentioned minus 30. My wife, she talks to friends back home, Europe, here, there. They say, "How's the weather in Canada?" He said, "Oh, it's exactly like Dubai." They said, "Seriously?" She said, "Yeah,
Just
but we're missing a negative, positive. We're just that one sign different, negative and positive." So,
absolutely.
so it's cold, yes, but we're used to it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, Nick, what you are bringing today for a lot of audience who are listening you and who join early morning today or weekend. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so basically, I'm bringing more about AI functions and AI related objects within Microsoft Fabric. And I picked a good scenario like translation, sentiment, and so on. So that's what I would be talking about today.
Beautiful. We are looking forward for it.
Should I move on to the next slide?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, long story short is that I want to talk about some of the functions within Fabric that you can use. And the scenario that I picked was, let's assume I'm selling a product and my product is getting a feedback through some kind of social media. So people will be replying back to me in different languages, different feedback. And I'm here to serve my clients and customers. I want to make sure I'm keeping them either loyal or no, I'm keeping them within the inner circle. So in the future, they'll bring their friends that basically they'll bring their friends and family to the website so I can basically make more sales and revenue. So this is the very high level architecture of what I've done, starting from left to right. As you can see, the top left is very high level is somehow your data is trickling in. I picked JSON as an example here. It's easy to train, it's easy to teach, but just imagine your data somehow is trickling in through a media. And I'm getting some feedbacks. The color red means it's negative. The blue, it means it's neutral. And the green means it was positive. So I outlined them so just for the presentation, so it's more visible. But this within the fabric, oops, sorry, my bad. Within fabric, I will be using some AI tools, of course, within the notebook, and it will generate me output with this format. It will tell me, hey, this feedback ID number one. So let's assume a row number. Let's assume this is number one. Sorry, line number one, it says, I love the product or whatever. It tells me the row ID number one is positive, and it will give me the score for it. The output that I can see in Power BI will look like this, and I can see which one is positive, negative, and neutral, and so on. But this is very high level. If we want to go into detail, let's go to the detail. So the detail goes like this, that I've got the feedback from the left, and what are the things I want to do with this? Number one, I want to translate it into English. Number two, get a summary out of it. Number three, classify it to find out if is it positive, negative, what is it? And number four and five, which is kind of together, is create a subject for an email, like an email subject, and create the reply, but reply it in a way to follow the sentiment. So whatever the sentiment is saying, if it's positive, write the thank you letter. If it's negative, apologize to the client and give them a, let's say, 10% coupon discount, or 10%, some kind of discount to them. Okay. And sometimes they're loyal clients. You want to give them a discount as well, or give them a coupon because they're loyal and so on. So this is a good example. Going one step deeper is...
So, Nick, there is one question Jason is asking.
Yes.
What is the architecture you followed? And if you put some light on the workflow within the architecture, the two, three, the services which you use. So if you put some light on that, that would be helpful.
Well, it's the next step. It's the AI functions within Microsoft Fabric. So this is a part of a solution. It's not the depth of. So we're not talking about like medallion architecture. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a very simple scenario, like a notebook that can do the work within less than 1 day. I'm not here to boil the ocean, make it complicated. I'm trying to find out, is it possible to provide these days, as you know, the clients are looking for a 1 day solution.
Yeah, but one of the question could be, suppose client already has a medallion architecture. They already have like bronze, silver, and gold there, and they're receiving this type of PDFs from different sources, and then once the data is kind of like landed, it's in the bronze, and then we can have some sort of like data factory, or like some sort of synapse pipeline. It's loading it, combining it, and then having it into silver. So this data frame that you're talking about, the notebook, can be applied on the silver layers data easily.
Now, okay, so depends how you whoever the architect is. So I'm going to go step back here. So this is that layer that you're talking about. So within your lake house, whether it's silver or bronze, depends on the decision that you're making, is where you can basically push these logics, or you apply these AI layers to your data. I would do it between the silver and gold. Why would I say that? Because sometimes the silver data does not go to the golden layer instantly. It needs to be reviewed. My point is, you want to review stuff before you shoot I don't know, 300 emails to clients. This could be phase one. In the future, once the tool is mature, you might say, Nick, let's do it automated fully. We trust the tool, and we're confident that it's giving us revenue, and so on and so forth. So I would put it at the end of the silver layer. That's what I would do. But solutions like this does not mean they're going to have a medallion architecture. So don't look at it as a medallion architecture. But because you use that word, I'm going to go with that scenario with you. Okay. So this is the 5 steps I want to do. Again, the last 2 steps are technically one related to emailing. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Please remember these numbers, because next slide, you can see those numbers. So those numbers are here. You can see here, by using this AI translate to English, you can use French, you can use Spanish, whatever you want. I speak English. My team is mostly speak English, so I prefer to have English. So again, this is a notebook, of course. So I translate into English, and then I want to summarize it. AI.summarize. I will summarize the translation, because I don't want let's say the French, let's assume one of them is in Spanish. I want it to be summarized in English, not Spanish. Okay. So that would be my step 2. Step 3 is the sentiment. I want to classify them in positive, negative, and neutral. And finally, I want the email subject and the email body basically to write me an email according to the sentiment that I got. So here it says I'm basically spoon feeding and instructing the AI to write a short email reply based on this feedback. If the sentiment is positive, be thankful. And the rest I haven't read, I didn't put here. If it's negative, be apologetic, blah, blah, blah. Basically, you can write a long sentence and instruct the AI to give you the proper response. And of course, make sure it's not talking about politics. You can add that, you can put things that make sure that the AI will not generate something very extreme. So, and then down the road, once you're confident that this tool is working, you can basically automate this. I just want to put the output. So let's just pick this one. So I don't know which language this is, but the feedback is the price is too high. So the AI picked this as a negative thing. And the title of the email is let's make our price more, I don't remember what the rest was, more competitive. And you can see an email saying,
More
hey, thank you for
accessible.
your feedback and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's about it. My point is
Beautiful. So
with
if you go
five
on that,
lines, you can have an AI within a notebook that does, trust me, maybe 80% of the emails that you want to send.
beautiful. That is so nice. If you go to the slide, previous slide, that conveying so much things. So, for example, our supermarket, if there is some message that we are getting as per client feedback, I could see something in Japanese, Mandarin, Hindi as well. So AI deciding and sending the response, and it look like in this case AI figure out, okay, I'm approved to send $10 discount coupon, and that is also sent by email, correct?
Yes, yes. So between, again, now step 4 and 5 are the same, but between step 3 and 4, you could go in your database and find out who is this client. Maybe it's a loyal client. Maybe it's a new client. Maybe it's a client that you've lost 3 times and somehow you brought them back. But my point is, you can start giving them some coupons, like 10% discount or something like that, or maybe it's their birthday, you want to send them a happy birthday as well at the same time, or it's so these are the things you can do between step 3 and 4, which is very critical.
Oh, beautiful. Because I remember Rahat on his birthday, he got couple of coupons. So he got couple of beer store
This
coupons.
can be kind of like a personalized for sure,
Yeah, yeah,
in different languages based on the people and their preferences.
Yeah.
beautiful. It is very, very helpful. It is short, sweet, pristine. So thank you so much, Nick, connecting today early morning, and we are happy. So what we are talking in next session, Rahat?
So, as we have already given a lot of demos on the Azure AI Foundry and Azure AI Agent, we got some questions like, oh, some of the non-technical folks are new in the industry. They asked us, can we tell them a bit more difference between traditional chatbot, Gen AI based chatbot, RAG, AI agent, and give them some examples as well. So we will talk about that one. We have prepared a
Beautiful.
slide on that, and we will also like mention some of the ethical aspects of the AI agents. How can they integrate them within their workflow as well?
Wow, that make us excited. So thank you so much, the audience. You are supporting us from last 9 years, and we really appreciate that. We will see you in next Canadian MEP. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.